Hello and welcome to my Star Wars The Last Jedi review. Yes, with spoilers, so this is going to be a spoiler review. If you haven't seen it yet, do not watch this review, okay? So yeah, I usually just do wrestling videos on my channel for the last year. I haven't done movie reviews in a long time, but I'm a huge Star Wars fan, always loved Star Wars since I was a kid. I love all the Star Wars films, even the prequels, and yeah, this is a film I had to see and had to review. After seeing it last night, I was just like, there's so much I got to talk about. I'm sure that all these other big reviews have already done their, all these other big channels have already done their reviews, but I've just got to do mine. So yeah, I've got Star Wars The Last Jedi is a film which has really divided the Star Wars fan base. I half love it and half hate some of the decisions this film makes. Yeah, there are a lot of pros and there are quite a few cons in this film too. So yeah, it is the 8th Star Wars film directed by Rian Johnson, taking over from J.J. Abrams, who did Force Awakens. I really liked Force Awakens, although J.J. Abrams is coming back for Episode 9. Yes, so yeah, let's get started with the things I liked about Star Wars The Last Jedi. I've got to say, the opening of the film is great. I think this probably has the best opening of a Star Wars film to date, possibly. I just think it just gets right in the action. That's what I loved. It just zooms right in and you see the rebels trying to escape the First Order, because you know, ever since after Force Awakens, they're pissed off about Darth Star Killer Base getting destroyed. So Hooks is chasing the remaining, they'll destroy that base we see in Force Awakens, and then they're chasing the last Resistance ships, and they're about to get destroyed, and then in comes Poe with his X-Wing, and he just destroys all these cannons all by himself, and they bring in the bombers, and it's such a cool sequence, like all the bombers, then all the TIE fighters coming. It's just such a cool 10-minute action scene, probably one of the best action scenes in Star Wars. Yeah, I think that opening 10 minutes, I loved it. Really good opening to the film. And the bombers, and all the bombers are getting destroyed, and there's one last bomber, like, come on, destroy this massive dreadnought, because it's this huge ship that's going to destroy the rebel ship, and like this little button sequence of the woman's like trying to reach it, and it's like, oh god, it's like, is it gonna work? And beep, she presses it, all the bombs fall down. It's great, destroys it all. Great opening of the film was great. Yeah, I've got to say, the film all around, one of the big pros this film has is great action scenes throughout all the film. The film's action scenes are great. You can tell Rian Johnson knows how to do action. He's really, really well done. The beginning, all the way through the film, there were some good action scenes, and the finale. The film has an amazing finale, which I'll probably get onto later. Let's get on to Luke Skywalker. Yes, Mark Hamill is back as Luke Skywalker. We see him obviously at the very end of Force Awakens with Rey holding out the lightsaber. And in this film, yes, we see him on the island with Rey. And Mark, it's so good to see Luke Skywalker back. Mark Hamill is great. I think this is probably one of his best performances as Luke Skywalker. You can tell he's just so rugged, so worn down. He's just so out-resolved. I hope he wants the Jedi to end. And I think him and his scenes with Rey were great. Although I wasn't a big fan of the very first scene with him. Basically, he's holding the lightsaber. Like, we spent 2 years thinking, what is he going to do with the lightsaber when Rey gives it to him? And he just goes, and he just throws it over the cliff. And we're just like, what? That's lightsaber that Luke hasn't seen in like 30 years since he lost his hand in an Empire Strikes Back. And he just goes, come on, it would. That just didn't seem. I mean, that just seemed like a bit of a cheap payoff, but whatever. But yeah, I loved Luke in this film. I think he was really, really good. I thought all of the scenes were great. The scenes where he was tearing up, telling his backstory about what happened with Kylo was really good. Although it was a bit weird seeing him drink the fucking milk from that weird camel thing on the beach, and he's from the tits. It was like, what? It was just weird. Yeah, I think Rey once again is really, really good. The main three characters of this film, you know, Luke, Rey, and Kylo. They're the three main characters. That story is like the main heartbeat of this film. This film basically is going from A to B. Most of this film, it's Rey, Luke, and Kylo. Then the battle with the Resistance of the First Order. That's what this film is. That's basically what it is. It's going back and forth to those two for 2.5 hours, pretty much. I think Rey is once again really good. Daisy Ridley is such a good actress, and she once again puts in a great performance, just like she did in Force Awakens. Kylo Ren, of course, the very Kylo Ren. We see he's a lot more conflicted in this film. Like you see, he's really split in the middle. He's not fully on the dark side, even though he did kill Han in the last film. He's still fully there, and like Snoke's really disappointed in him that he couldn't beat. Rey in Force Awakens. He's like, you take that ridiculous mask off. You're a failure, Kylo. I was like, oh. Yeah, and they have scenes together in this film too. I thought the scenes where they connect to each other through the Force on the island, where Rey's on the island, she's like, I know you're there. And Kylo's like, how is this possible? And they're talking to each other. That was so good. That was something new, something we'd never seen in a Star Wars film, seeing how the Force could work. Really, really good. I thought Rey, Kylo and Luke, they were the three best parts of this film by a mile. Every time the screen went back onto them, it was amazing. Loved it. Porgs, yes, the very, very controversial animals that people are like, oh, it's just Disney trying to cash in. And it is. It is Disney trying to cash in because they're cute. They're little fluffy animals that live on the island with Luke, and basically don't do anything in the film. They're just gags. And yeah, they're only in there so Disney can sell loads of toys for Porgs, but they are cute. Like, they're so cute. And when Chewie's eating one, all the other Porgs are looking at Chewie like that. That was so cute. I loved them. And some of them joined Chewie on the Millennium Falcon later in the film, and Chewie's like, get them off my ship. I love the Porgs. They were cute. Poe Dameron, he has a lot more to do with this film. I think he has a much more beefy part. I love Oscar Isaac as Poe in Force Awakens, but he has a lot more to do in this film. You know, it opens up the film. Basically, it's about he's next in line to take on after Leia goes, and yeah, basically he's talking about the consequences of his actions, because basically, even though he'd helped destroy the big dreadnought at the beginning of the film, it cost a lot of frigate. They lost a lot of ships, and that was Poe's fault initially. So yeah, there's a lot of conflict there, and he's great throughout the whole film too. Leia, you know, or Carrie Fisher, but she has a lot more to do in this film too. Yeah, I think she's great. That scene though, where she's floating in space, and then she has the Force bubble, and she just and she just floats back to the ship using the Force. That's divided. That's another thing that's divided Star Wars fans. They're like, what? That was weird. That was really weird. Just seeing her float back to the ship using the Force. Like, she's in space. She's like, and she's knocking on the ship, going, "Get back in, please." It was like, I think it was cool, but there were a few people in the audience laughing. So yeah, I don't think it had the impact that Rian Johnson wanted it to have. And honestly, I think that sounds horrible, but you know, Carrie Fisher unfortunately is dead now. Unfortunately, horrible to hear. But how's she going to be in the next film? Because this film ends with, and she's still alive. They didn't kill her off. I thought they were going to kill her off. Nope. She's still alive at the end of this film. So how are they going to explain her absence in Episode 9? That's J.J. Abrams. He's got a bit of a problem there, but we'll see. We'll see. Yeah, so Poe and Leia, they have much more to do with this film. The finale of this film is amazing. On the planet, I forgot what the planet's called, where all the the First Order with the new AT-ATs coming towards the final base with the massive battering ram. And then the 20 Resistance pilots who were left, all the little shutters driving towards them. It's such a cool scene. And obviously they get battered. And then Finn, you think Finn's about to kill himself because he's flying right into it. It's like, I've got to do this. And I actually thought for a minute, that's it for Finn. Finn was going to kill himself. That's Finn's sacrifice. He saves them by flying right into that battering ram and destroys it all. Like, but then Rose stops it, and then she's like, I can't lose you. No, we need to keep each other safe. And then she kisses him and then passes out. I was just like, what? No. They've been together for like, what, half a day? And she loves him? Oh, God, no. But whatever. Oh yeah, and also the Yoda cameo was great. I loved seeing Master Yoda again, that little cameo scene with Luke. Because obviously they have a massive disagreement, Luke and... I think Luke's lessons overall on the planet, where he teaches Rey about the Force, the 3 little lessons, they could have done a bit more with it. I would have liked to have seen actually him training her with the lightsaber. There's none of that. He just gives her 3 little lessons on why the Jedi has to end, why the Jedi have always been wrong, and all that stuff. I think they could have done that a bit better, but it was still good. And then when she finds out Luke wanted to kill Kylo Ren, Luke Skywalker wanted to kill Kylo Ren, so out of character, but whatever. Yeah, she's like, is it true? And then she just leaves the island. And then Luke's about to burn the Last Jedi Temple. He's like, I'm done. But then Yoda just burns it for him and goes, yes. And Yoda is with Luke again. He's like, did you hear nothing of what I taught you? It's like, did you hear what? Like, pass on what you have learned. Like, it was so cool seeing you like, yes, he did tell you that in Return of the Jedi, Luke, and you fucked it all up. That was so cool seeing Yoda and Luke to get back together again. And yeah, there are a lot of positives in this film. It is still a very good Star Wars film, but it is not great. There are quite a few things which drag this film down, unfortunately. Here we go. Okay. It still is a very good Star Wars film, but it's not great. I think Force Awakens is a better film, but we'll get on to... Here are the negatives. I'm going to be quite a while. Okay. The whole bit on the casino planet. where Finn and Rose go to get this code breaker guy. It was bad. It just wasn't very good. It just didn't feel like a Star Wars film. When they're in that casino with all the different people, it felt like a different film. It didn't feel like I was watching Star Wars. The film just stopped, and for this like 20-minute segment where they're on this planet, and then they're talking about how all these rich people, how they mistreat these horses. It's like, yeah, but what? It's like, I hate this planet. I want to run through all these people. Look at how they treat these horses. I was just like, what am I watching? Is this in Star Wars? It's like, yes, this is like a reflection of how things are today. Of course, that happens today, isn't it? And yeah, then they free all the horses and they're running across the planet and all the horses trample through the casino in a pretty cool scene. And then they're all escaping with the horses. It's just like, free the horses! Oh, it's like, what is this? And then they find Benicio del Toro's character, who's the code breaker, and he helps them get off the planet. But that whole 20-30 minutes on that planet was just... that could have been cut. That was terrible. Probably one of the worst parts of the film. I mean, that's what I think. Finn and Rose. Finn, who's great in the first film. John Boyega is an amazing actor. He's great in this film too, but he really pushed his character down a notch. Like, he's pushed to the side story in this film where Rey, Finn and Kylo have the main beef of the film. He's pushed to the side in this film in a very forgettable story with Rose, unfortunately, but no fault to his own. The actor and the actress who plays Finn and Rose are great. John Boyega's great. I don't know who actually plays Rose, but she's great too. But yeah, the whole storyline could have just been cut. It wasn't great. I think they could have done a lot better with that. Yeah, then let's talk about fucking Snoke. Yes, the big bad guy we saw in The Force Awakens as a hologram. Who is he? We spent 2 years thinking, who the hell is this guy? He's like the new leader of the First Order. And then we see him in this film for 2 scenes, actually in person this time, in his nice robe. Obviously, Andy Serkis plays him. It was really good. I loved Snoke for the 2 scenes he's in this film. He was so menacing. He's so powerful. Like, he's just blasting Kylo, and then he meets Rey, and he's just like, raw power. Oh, this is so cool. You can actually see him in person. I mean, Andy Serkis is great once again. He's blasting Rey all over the room, going, you will tell me the war plans, and all that. Like, you will turn. He's such an evil bastard. And then he basically goes, you failed me. So he's about to get Kylo to kill her. But then Kylo just kills Snoke, slices him in half. I was like, what a waste of a character. Snoke could have been they were doing such a good job in this film. I think the 2 scenes he was in, he was great. I loved him. And then they just kill him off. What a waste of a great character. It's obvious Rian Johnson didn't give much of a shit about Snoke. I think that's the problem with this film. Rian Johnson, I don't think he agreed with a lot of things in Force Awakens, obviously, because there's quite a few things in this film that Force Awakens sets up that Rian Johnson just goes, nah, whatever. This is my film now, JJ, I'm doing what I want. It's like, what? And yeah, so Snoke's gone. And now Kylo's the new boss of the Resistance. That was a cool scene, though, where Kylo and Rey are back-to-back fighting the Snoke's guards. That was such a cool scene. Like, yeah, they then look like they're about to join forces, but then, no, they go their separate ways. And that was a really cool scene, I've got to admit, yeah. Captain Phasma. Another huge waste in this film. She was in Force Awakens, or like a minute of screen time if you put it all together. Fucking waste. And then we all thought, okay, she's going to have a much bigger part in this film. She's going to be used properly in this one. Nope. She's in the film for like 2 minutes. She's in a few little scenes before. That's so good to have you back, FN2187, like with Finn, when they capture Finn. And then they have a little fight. She fights Finn for they hyped up that fight so much, didn't they? There was a backstage thing of John Boyega going, yeah, that was a cool fight. I worked so hard for that fight. And then we see it in the trailer, like, come on, bzzz, with those little laser things. And then the fight's like 20 seconds long. She just batters Finn, but then Rose shoots and she's got blast-proof armour, but then Luke, what's his name, Finn just smashes his helmet, and then you see her eye, and she's like, you will always be a rebel scum. And you will always be something, and he goes, no, I'm rebel scum. Oh yeah, and then she just falls into the fire, and I assume she's dead. What a waste! She could have had much more to do in this film. She could have had a cool blaster segment where she's killing all these rebels. She could have had more screen time. She could have actually done some shit in this film, but she's just as disposable as she was in The Force Awakens. And I think she's dead. She just fell into the fire and whoosh. It was like, there's no way she can come back again in the ninth film, is there? No, it would make any sense. And what a waste! Snoke and Phasma, fucking wasted, absolute waste. What Rian Johnson? What were you doing? And then the lightsaber fight. There was no lightsaber fight in this film. No lightsaber, two lightsaber. Bzz, bzz. There was none of that in this film. This is the first numbered Star Wars film without a lightsaber fight. What the hell's going on? Not one lightsaber. Like, I mean, there's a beginning bit. The beginning where Kylo and Rey are fighting the guards, but that's not lightsaber on lightsaber. That's just them fighting each other. I mean, not each other. The guards. There's no lightsaber on lightsaber fight. And then at the end of the film, when Luke and Kylo are having that face off, oh, it was so awesome. But they don't actually fight. There's no bzz, bzz. Luke's just dodging all of Kylo's attacks. That's it. There's no lightsaber fight in this film. That was a big down. I think had to have been considering how poor the lightsaber fight in Force Awakens was. I was hoping to get a really cool lightsaber fight in this film. We didn't even really get one. No. And another big plot line that was dropped from Force Awakens. Who are Rey's parents? We're like, who is Rey's parents going to be? Because they built that up. You could tell J.J. Abrams and Force Awakens was building up Rey's parents to be someone big. So we predicted for like 2 years in prediction videos who were going to be Rey's parents. And then Kylo just says, you know it, your parents were just scavenger junk. They traded you for drinking money. You know it's true. And she's like, crying. And I was like, that's who Rey's parents are? They're no one? What? No, come on. That's it. Seriously? Oh, no. Didn't like that. That was a huge plotline that was just dropped from Force Awakens. Rian Johnson, what are you doing? And then, let's get on to Luke. While I did love Mark Hamill's portrayal as Luke, some of the decisions he made in this film, I just couldn't get my head around. Him wanting to kill Kylo Ren, that was just so out of character. Luke would never do that. I know it's because he'd been seeing it for a long time. You see a shot with him with a lightsaber like that, and then Kylo. That's how he end up. Kylo returns evil because he thinks Luke's about to kill him. No, I didn't like that. I didn't like how much of a douche he was at the beginning of the film. Like that scene, he just throws the lightsaber. That was just stupid. I hated that. Like, come on. Then drinking the tip milk, I was like, what? I mean, he just eventually turned good when he sees Yoda again, and he joins the fight. And then that end scene on the planet where he comes out with his old robes and he meets Leia, gives her hands dice. I was like, oh. And he gives C-3PO a little wink, and he goes out and confronts Kylo Ren. They're all shooting the blasters at him. It's like, oh shit, is Luke gonna die? Then he just walks out and goes. Then him and Kylo have a little bit of a face-off. I was like, oh, it was so epic. Him and Kylo with his blue lightsaber, which is a bit strange, but then we can find that out later. And then they have they don't fight. Kylo's trying to hit Luke, and Luke's just dodging it, saying, you can't beat me, Kylo. Then he slices Luke, and like, oh shit. And then Luke's just like, then you see, and Kylo's like, and Luke isn't actually there. He's a Force vision, and he goes, see you around, kid. So basically all he was doing was buying time for the Resistance to escape in the Millennium Falcon, but all 20 of them. Yeah, and the Kylo's like, ah! And then you see Luke on the planet meditating as he was protecting himself all the way to that planet, and then, because it was so exhausting, he's like, oh, it pretty much kills him. I think that's what he does. He's like, he's just exhausted from doing that, because he hasn't used the Force in so long, and he looks at the two suns like he did in Tatooine, like, do, and then he just vanishes. And I assume he's at one with the Force now, and I was like, no, what? That was a rubbish send-off. Like, did they have to kill off Luke? Honestly, that was the send-off you're going to give Luke? He just... it's bad enough they killed off Han Solo in Force Awakens, although Harrison Ford wanted to be killed off, so whatever. But yeah, I didn't like this. And apparently Mark Hamill doesn't either. He said he doesn't really agree with where they went with Luke in this film, and I don't blame him. Yeah, then he just vanishes, and that's it. That's Luke's journey over with. The amazing character we saw in the original trilogy, then that's how they send him off in this film. Oh, I assume he is going to be back as a Force ghost in the next film. He has to be. Hopefully with Hayden Christensen and Anakin Skywalker. Wouldn't you just love that? Like, in the next film, Rey's learning to be a Jedi properly this time. Because in this film, she doesn't actually receive any lightsaber training whatsoever from Luke. She's just at one with the Force. Yeah. And then she's all of a sudden a master with a lightsaber. Whatever. I didn't like whatever. That's done with. Yeah, I didn't like how Luke went off again, and then he just floats away. You see his cape float away, and that's it. So yeah, hopefully we're going to see Luke again as a Force ghost, because he deserves to have another big scene in the next film. And hopefully we'll see Anakin and Obi-Wan and Yoda all saying hello to Rey as Force ghosts in the next film. Oh, that'd be so great. Okay. But yeah, overall, that was The Last Jedi. A lot of pros, but a lot of cons too. A lot of the decisions Rian Johnson made in this film, and the writers, whoever they are, yeah, not great. Not great. I'm not the only one. A lot of people didn't like this film. There's a lot of die-hard Star Wars fans out there who were disappointed. Angry Joe did like 2 big videos on why this film pissed him off. You know, the story looked... lots of other big reviews are saying this film makes a lot of weird decisions, 10 big blunders. Yeah, and I'm the same. I'm going to give Star Wars The Last Jedi a 7 out of 10. Yeah. It's just a very good Star Wars film. It's not terrible. No, not by any means. It's still a very entertaining film. I probably will still buy it on Blu-ray. But yeah, I still think Force Awakens is the better film. And I hope to God that J.J. Abrams, who's coming back to do Episode 9, can fix a lot of the problems this film brings up. And he can give us an epic finale in Episode 9. Yeah. So thank you for watching, guys. What did you guys think of Star Wars The Last Jedi? Comment below. Let me know. So, thank you for watching, guys. And I'll see you all soon.